guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing a different video. I've not done this before. I mean, it's a reading vlog, but the type of reading vlog I've not done before, and as you can tell by the title, I'm trying to see how many 5 stars I can get in one video, because I have had no 5 stars since January, if we're not including my reread of Fourth Ring and Iron Flame, which was January anyway. So yeah, I've had 2 5 stars this year, not including those 2 rereads. Okay, I'm sorry, you're gonna just have to excuse the sound of my washing machine. It's not stopping anytime soon. Yeah, I've had a criminally low number of 5 stars this year, and I want to rectify that. The problem is there's not much on my physical TBR that I have the feeling will be a 5 stars, which is, then you're probably thinking, well, why have you bought it then? But I will still read things if I think I'm going to enjoy it, even if I don't think it's going to be a 5 stars. I have got a couple, and I've got a couple on Kindle Unlimited that are possible 5 stars. So to kick off, we're starting with The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, which has just been released. So I loved One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. It was 4.5 stars and 4.75 stars respectively. So this is more of an adult fantasy romance. So I'm hoping maybe what was missing from One Dark Window was the fact it was technically a YA. It didn't feel it in the writing or the plot necessarily, but it was at the end of the day a YA. So who knows? I've got my fingers crossed for this one. I have got high hopes for this book. Maybe I shouldn't, but yeah, we're gonna start off with The Night and the Moth. Okay, it's like 10 o'clock. I am exactly 100 pages into this on chapter 9, and I wish I started reading this sooner, but realistically I had another book to finish today that I didn't finish till about 4 o'clock, so yeah, 100 pages in. I've got some good feelings about this book. I've got some possibly 5-star feelings about this book. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. The first couple chapters, which I did feel the same with One Dark Window, first couple chapters I was like, not in a bad way, just it takes a minute to get into it because you're just kind of thrown straight into the story. I am so in this book. I am so invested right now. I don't know who to trust. I don't know what to think. I don't know. I don't trust the abbess. I'm guessing it's abbess, kind of like Abby. I don't know. I don't trust her in the slightest. I haven't from the beginning. She just gives me a weird feeling. Currently not trusting Rory. He's clearly the love interest, so clearly it's fine, but his timing right now, really suspicious for what's just happening. I have no idea what's going on. Not a clue. But I'm very intrigued and I really want to keep reading, but it's 10 o'clock. I've still got a full face of makeup on and I'm getting a headache, so I am gonna take this off and go to sleep, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow. I think I will very likely binge this tomorrow. It's just over 380 pages, so I've got 280 left. I can read that tomorrow, no problem. The problem is I have to like edit a whole video tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, I might read another chapter before bed, maybe, who knows. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far. I'm so invested. I love all the characters, even though literally 6 of their names are just the numbers 1 to 6. But I'm just here for them. I don't know. It's 9:45 and I have like 70-ish pages, well, 80-ish pages left. I've got like 80 exactly pages left. I want to finish this tonight. It might not be possible, okay? I don't think it's going to be a 5 stars though. I had the feelings at first, and now while I'm enjoying the romance, and literally the first time they've kissed was like 1 sentence ago, I think the romance is making this not a 5 stars, because this is a romantasy, and at the end of the day the fantasy and the romance needs to be top notch for me to consider this 5 stars. It's still a high rating. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know how, and if I'm holding this up you can't see what it is because I took the Dutch jacket off. I don't know what it is about Rachel Gillig's writing, but her mind is just insane. I don't know how she comes up with these things because, like, okay, listen, this is only the second thing of hers I've read, but both have been so distinctly Rachel Gillig while being so distinctly different from each other, but also from anything else I've ever read. She just, like, the magic system in this is so different to One Dark Window, but so different to anything else I've ever read. And then just the storyline, the setting we're in, it just feels so individual. It feels it's its own thing. And I'm really enjoying that. I have a few guesses. There's two things I've had a feeling about for a while now. One to do with her eyes and one to do with the gargoyle, who I love, by the way. I love him. I feel like he should be called Bartholomew at this point because he's just calling everyone else it and he's only called the gargoyle. He needs a name. Why haven't they named him? I love him. He is genuinely one of my favourite characters. He's just so funny. And it's just effortless. It's really effortless. But yeah, I've got a little something to do with him. Not necessarily about him specifically, but I have a theory, so I'm wondering if I'm right about both of them. I have a feeling I'm right about the eyes. I may have to give up on the idea of finishing this tonight just because it is 10:15. I've still got to do all my skincare and stuff, and I don't want to go to bed late because I have work tomorrow. But I am thoroughly enjoying it. This is a really, really good book. I just think the romance isn't hitting like I would like it to. It's not like this is one of my favourite romantasy men. I am enjoying it. It's very like sweet in some ways, and there's some things that have made me giggle, but I'm just not super invested. It's not giving Rhysand and Feyre, it's not giving Xaden and Violet. So that's like why I've got quite like, I don't know. Anyway, I will get back to you when I have finished the book. Okay, so I finished The Night in the Moth. At this point, days ago, I read a whole of the book since reading this. It wasn't quite a 5-star. I've given it a 4. I'll tell you what I liked about it. Love the gargoyle, okay? He was, on both hands, an amazing comic relief, but also the backstory and the depth of the character was really good. I really enjoyed it. The atmosphere that Rachel Gillig created was great. It was so gothic, so... I was listening at one point when I'm reading this to like a fantasy ambience playlist on YouTube, and it just made me feel like I really was in this really small like country that had these little hamlets and like the mountains and the forest and all this. Like I really just felt like I was there. So she really created this amazing atmosphere. The magic system, once again, absolutely is like stunning. It was nothing I've seen before, but One Dark Window had a magic system that was so different to everything else I've seen, and in a similar way this does, but it was also so different to the magic system in One Dark Window. So I don't know, her brain, she's just so creative with coming up with these magic systems. I don't know how she does it. And yeah, I enjoyed the characters. The writing was really, I think the first couple of chapters I struggled a little bit to get into and to understand what was happening. And then we were in it and I just completely got everything and I was there. I really did enjoy this. Romance-wise, I do enjoy, I mean, he does have a stupid name. Mendacious, I think his surname is. Yeah, his name's Roderick, but then he goes by Rory. I don't know. Don't love his name. And she's called Sybil. Don't love that name either, to be honest. But there was just some, I think the reason this wasn't a 5-star for me was because for being a romantasy, there was just something missing in the romance. I wasn't obsessed like I wanted to be. So I do feel like, unfortunately, like that did bring the rating down a little bit. But I did really, overall, really enjoy this book. It was a 4 stars. I'm so looking forward to the next book. We left on quite a cliffhanger. The other thing was the twist. I saw the twist coming from a mile off and the betrayal coming from a mile off. So that brought the rating down because there was no surprise there. But I did really enjoy it. But unfortunately, not at 5 stars. Okay, the next book I'm like 100-ish pages into. I mean, I read 110 pages yesterday and I've read a couple of chapters today. Not that much though. And that is The Right Move. I read Mile High, which is the book obviously I read in between The Night in the Moth and this. And I didn't film it for this video because I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. I was thoroughly expecting not to like it because I'd seen a lot of bad reviews about the main male character. However, as it stands right now, I prefer Z over Ryan, and I don't listen, let me explain. Ryan currently does not have a whole lot of personality, and he's a big contradiction. So he's like, I don't care about anyone but her, and then he's like weirdly like glaring at any man that looks at her, including if those men are her friends slash, well, not colleagues, but people off the hockey team that she essentially works for. And then, okay, a problem I had with Mile High, Ryan was constantly described as being protective. Like, he would do a protective thing and then following that was described as also being protective. So we were told and shown that Ryan was protective in Mile High. That part of the writing I didn't enjoy. It was unnecessary, it was too much, I just didn't like it. In this, Indy described him perfectly. He's a bit of a robot. He doesn't have a lot of emotions going on outwardly. So yeah, like I say, he's a bit mean, a bit boring. He's not got a lot going on in his life. His whole life is basketball, and I'm like, dude, get a hobby. And yeah, he was a bit mean to Indy at first, and then now, yes, he's being perfectly nice. He's like, we need a fake date so my boss likes me, and then is doing terribly at fake dating, but doing really well when it's just them two, and she's like, well, he's faking it. Why can't you do that when we're around people? And then what annoyed me, the last chapter I read before I had work today, he did a couple nice things for her. That we've had the infamous coffees put in the fridge so it's cold for her without it needing to be watered down by ice. First time he's done that, he's bought her a bed, and he's bought vegan or vegetarian bacon and not bothered with regular bacon because he's like, what's the point? So he's bought her food that fits her diet. And we're in his point of view when she discovers this, and he's like, oh my god, she's going to romanticize this. I know she is. She's going to think more of it than it is. And I'm like, okay, first of all, don't assume. And second of all, if you think she's going to romanticize something or take something the wrong way, just don't do it. Like, be mindful in the first place. If you don't want to set her expectations to something, don't do something that will make her think that way. And then he's like complaining like, oh, I've done this nice thing and now she's going to take it the completely wrong way. Just don't do it then. Just don't. You don't have to do those things, believe it or not. So there was a few moments like where I've really liked Ryan. A couple moments like him saying, don't you dare cry, and she's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna embarrass you, like, and he's like, no, I don't care if you cry or scream or throw a tantrum here, don't cry over him. And I loved that moment when they were at the ball or the banquet type thing. No, it wasn't a ball. So those sides of Ryan I really like, but the sides that I'm finding a bit meh at the moment, or a bit like he's being a bit of an idiot. So it was the same with Z, to be fair, in Mile High, but for him, he just had so much personality that I liked him. Whereas Ryan doesn't feel like he's got a lot going on right now. So I don't know, this one I thought I would film about because everyone says this is like the favourite book, or at least it was until I think loads of people love Play Along and loads of people love Rewind It Back, and I'm excited for Rio's story, I'm not gonna lie, because I have a massive soft spot for Rio. So far this is not living up to the expectation I was believing it would have, because everyone was like, oh my god, Ryan Shea is the perfect book boyfriend, Ryan Shea. And I'm not fully, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this book, I really am. And I'm flying through it. I feel like I'm barely through the book and I'm over 100 pages in. And I do like Ryan, and I do like Ryan and Indy together. I just don't, I feel like it doesn't match quite the hype that it has. So anyway, I am about to go out for one of the girls at work's leaving do. I'm going to read a little bit when I get back because I don't want to go out, I don't want to be out late. And it's also really hot and it's just like uncomfortable to be anything but not moving. Yes, I am going to read more of this tonight. I do have the rest of the series. I already had caught up, but this weekend I did go out and buy Play Along and Rewind It Back, so you never know. Another one of those books could be in this video because I do want to binge the whole series, but I have got a couple other books in mind. I just, why, nothing is feeling 5 stars, it's so annoying. Why? What has happened? I'm still enjoying books, just nothing's giving me that 5-star feeling, and that's all I want. Okay, I am a little over halfway through. I'm on chapter 24, page 289. So I have just over, like by a couple pages, 200 pages left to read of this, which I have no doubt that I will do today because I am eating this book up. Okay, what I said in the last clip where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be 5 stars. I'm still not 100% sure yet, but there is a very good chance. There was a very good chance this could be, it's at the very least gonna be a high 4 rating. This man, I have been kicking my feet at this. Okay, their first kiss, I screamed. The kitchen scene, the day after, was it the day after? Or maybe there was like a couple of days, I can't remember if there was like, because obviously he has to travel for his job and she travels with the hockey team. So like they're kind of ships in the night sometimes. But the kitchen scene after the first kiss, the tension, it was hot, right? Listen. And then, oh my god, any smut we've had since then. First of all, okay, something that the MMC has decided to do in this book, I have now fully decided it was definitely inspired by The Right Move. If you've read this book, you'll know what I mean. I don't think the specifics are the same, but the decision that was made, listen, at least in this case it's only been like 2 years, so I'm not worried about Ryan's skill or talent in any way, unlike in Spiral I was. Anyway, this is so good. This is so good. The few like slightly spicy scenes that we've not had a full-blown spice scene yet in like, we have not gone the whole way yet. However, listen, I was blushing, and I don't really blush. I think I was blushing. I went a little bit, whew. Ryan Shea, the man you are. I love Xander still, I really do. I think he is so funny. Xander's is a lot more serious than Ryan. Ryan's a lot more, thing is he's got his like cheeky moments, he's got his like smug moments and like, you know, but he is a lot more serious and protective, and oh my god, he gets so jealous. A jealous Ryan Shea. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I am loving this book. I'm loving it. So we're having a good time. I'm gonna finish this today, whether I like it or not. It's gonna be finished today. And I might also, no, I'm not making that joke, never mind. Okay. It's really warm. There's a heat wave in the UK today. So it was also a heat wave yesterday. It was very hot. Going out for dinner, literally all of us were sweating. I don't know why I have this on, to be honest. I am wearing shorts. I have got a top underneath. But it's a little bit see-through, and I was like, for camera's sake, let's put something on. But I don't know. This is the effort I made. I decided to pink and pink because my shorts are also pink. So I thought I would at least coordinate for you, even though you didn't know that I was wearing pink shorts. And I mean, now you do. But I put the effort in. Anyway, this needs to come off. I'm gonna have lunch and a matcha, and then I'm gonna finish this book. I also need to film this afternoon, so while the lighting's good, I might film straight after lunch. I don't know. Anyway, I am gonna finish this book this afternoon, and I cannot wait. I'm loving it. I don't know what it is. It's giving me like giggly, kicking my feet moments. And I haven't had that in so long, where I've been so invested in like a couple. I feel like I haven't really, there's not been many couples this year that I've really just been like, I love them. There's at least not been many, and I love the feeling of being obsessed with a couple, with a series, with a romance. This is what I need. I need to be obsessed with series. I just want to feel that way. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get my bits done so I can finish this book, and I will update you with my rating when I have. Or if anything exciting happens, maybe I'll let you know. Okay, I've got just over a couple hundred pages. No, just over a couple pages over 100 left to go. We're at what I believe to be the love confession. This book is driving me insane. I am enjoying it so much. I have been tearing up multiple times just from how sweet everything is. I'm just absolutely obsessed with this couple in every way. They are just Oh my god, I love them. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna cry. I don't, in no context, but the promise I'll even add it to the fridge. I don't know why, but I love it, it's so sweet. If you read it, it makes sense, but it sounds a bit silly out of context. Let me make this clear. When it comes to her, I have no issue ruining my reputation. I will burn the world down to protect her and I'll proudly wave the match so everyone knows I'm the one who did it. Ryan fucking Shea. Oh my god, I love this man. No. He made it even better, he made it even better. You know that jersey you've got with my last name on it? When you see it hanging there in your closet, let it serve as a reminder to you that soon enough it'll be her last name too. Oh, please don't tell me he had, like, that's so cute if this is what I think is happening right now. If this is Ryan. Wait. Is it already... If Ryan's done what I think he's done, I love him so much. I'm actually gonna cry. I love this man so much. He is just the sweetest man in the whole entire world. And I love him. That was so good. That was just 100% of 5 stars. That... I am obsessed with Ryan Shea. I am obsessed with this book. This was so good. I was giggling the whole time. Okay, yay, first 5 stars of the video and first 5 stars of the year since January. I'm so happy. That was so good. And the epilogue was so cute. I'm really looking forward to the next book as well. So we've got Single Daddy Kai. I love a single dad romance, okay? I do. We love a single dad in this household. So, but that's not the end of the video. This was not a reading until we get a 5 stars. This is trying to see how many 5 stars we can get. So, with that being said, I'm not going to say a lot about the book because I don't want to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is I love the couple. I've loved the whole entire plot. I've just thoroughly enjoyed reading it. It gave me the 5-star feeling and that is all I could ask for. So I will see you when I pick up the next book that I think is going to be possibly a 5 stars. Okay, since I last saw you, I have now finished the entire Windy City series. Okay, I've read all 5 books in about 11 days and I've thoroughly enjoyed each one. So obviously I haven't done a reading vlog for the whole thing. I think I mentioned Mile High was a 4.5 stars. And then in this reading vlog, as you saw, The Right Move was a 5 stars. Thank you very much. Caught Up was so close. It was a 4.75. The only reason it was not a 5, and realistically I got a 5 star with The Right Move. I wasn't going to film the rest of the series. Probably should have. Anyway. Yeah, Caught Up, the only reason it wasn't a 5 stars, because it was a 4.75, was because Miller's excuse for not being with him and things being temporary, and I don't know, it was just annoying and stupid, okay? If you don't like your job, just don't go back to it when you have other options. She's 25, 26, I think she's 25. She's so young and she's like, oh, but I have to do this, I have to. You have no legal reason that forces you to. If you don't want to go back to that type of job when you have the freedom that you have, then don't. If something else is making you happier and you have something else you want to do or have a vague idea, do that. It really, it did annoy me. So, but otherwise, 4.75. Play Along was also a 4.5. There's a theme here, can you see it? I basically loved this series. And finally, we have Rewind It Back. The reason I should have continued and started filming, this was a 5 stars. Okay, I have 0 complaints about this book. 0. I was so excited. I mean, Isaiah and Rio, I had a soft spot for both of them because they are like the jokesters of their respective teams. Rio's the youngest though, and oh, he was so sweet. He was so sweet, it's not even funny. I love him. And like, this wasn't even like an annoying second chance romance. The reason for them breaking up kind of made sense. Like, it was stupid, but they were young, so obviously it's nothing they couldn't move on from. Because when you're young, you make stupid decisions in love. Okay, you just do. I know I did. Perfect wrap up to the series. I am so looking forward to Emmett's book. I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be so good. Also, this one, it had artwork in it, in the front and in the back. And I didn't know that when I bought it. I just saw it and picked it up. We've had 2 5 stars this month, so that's quite exciting. I'm like, that's really good, and they're in the same series. The thing is, when I was reading Mile High and then The Right Move and got a 5 stars, I was like kicking myself because I've owned the first 3 books in that series since April last year. So it's took me over a year to read them, and I'm like, why did it take me so long to read them? Because I'm obsessed with that series. It's given me like Chestnut Springs level obsession for the series. I already want to reread them. They were so good. I was giggling, kicking my feet, just, I don't even know if I can pick a favourite man. It might be Kai, because the whole Clark Kent vibe thing going on. Or it could be Rio. Listen, I love them all in different ways. So I was kicking myself, but because I did leave them, rewinded back when he came out a couple months ago. Was it last month or the month before? So it's meant I can read all 5 of them together. And yeah, I've really enjoyed reading the full series back to back. So I'm gonna read another book for this video. I think I know what I'm gonna read. The problem is I have scoured my bookshelves, okay, all morning. And I genuinely can't see one that I think is going to be a 5 stars. The one book I owned that I thought was going to be a 5 stars, aside from The Right Move, I had a feeling that would be, was The Night and the Moth, and obviously that was only a 4 stars at the beginning of this video. I don't know what to do. I really think Bury Our Bones and the Midnight Style might be. But it's not on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't want to buy the hardback for that book. So I have genuinely, roughly, I would say there's 200 books on this shelf. 150 to 200 books on this shelf. And I don't think any of them are going to be a 5 star, and that's a problem. Why do I own so many if I don't think they're going to be 5 stars? I've clearly made a mistake somewhere along the way. Anyway, I was also tempted because, listen, we've got 11 days left of the month as of today, it's the 20th. I've been off not very well for the last just under a week with fatigue, so I haven't read probably as much as I could have. I instead decided to lie on the sofa, because I couldn't really do much, and start the MCU from beginning to end. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do the series in that as well. I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to do the movies. But I have 11 days left to read, while also trying to have my heart broken by Endgame, because I just was in the mood for that. So I was going to read the Kingmaker series by Sophie Locke, read The Heir, and then subsequently the rest of the books in the series. Because there's 5 books. They're all like 500 pages long. However, I have the indie published ones. They're massive. But also, if you look at the writing and the gaps between the writing, there's hardly any words on these pages. I'd read that so easily. It's more like they are 300-page books in the traditionally published, I think. I was tempted to read this series for the rest of the month, but then I wouldn't have time to read 2 Kindle books, and also I wouldn't have time to finish this vlog because I don't think any of these are going to be a 5 stars. So we're scrapping that idea. I'll read them next month. The book I have decided to read to wrap up this video is going to be Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. So this is on Kindle Unlimited. It's being traditionally published in September or October. I think it might be October. It's getting traditionally published. I have seen a lot of people talk about this. Emmy specifically, I think, is the one who kind of discovered this, and because of how much she's spoken about it, is a big reason for it getting the recognition, the hype, and therefore the traditionally published book. So the only problem is I think it's a YA, and I don't typically get on with YAs. I did love One Dark Window, and I did love Divine Rivals, which are YA. And Assistant to the Villain is YA, and I love that one. So I'm Powerless. So there is a few YA books I do like. So I'm hoping this is gonna be adult enough that I'll like it. But we'll give it a go. It's got a lot of 5-star reviews. It's got a lot of conversation about the cliffhanger at the end, so I can't wait for that. So yeah, this is gonna be the book that we're gonna wrap up the video with. So let's just get into it. Okay, I'm on chapter 12, which is about 23% of the way through the book. And okay, it's reading very YA, and I hate that she says dang rabbits as like a curse. It's a little cringe. What is it about YAs when they do this? They have to say something weird and quirky when instead of cussing. Like, just say it like god damn it, or like gosh dang it, if like you're gonna be really YA about it. Like, don't be weird and quirky. Don't try and be cute. It's not cute, it's cringe. That's my only complaint so far. I'm very curious about Aka. He's very clearly the love interest. Kai, I was feeling fine about him, but then Aka's literally just said he overdid it after she suddenly gets exhausted. I'm like, what did Kai do? What does she not know about these people? Because she's very clearly not part of this people. She's clearly from somewhere else. I'm so confused, but I'm really interested. I'm really intrigued in what's going on. So I'm quite invested already, which is a good sign. I kind of have a few theories. I'm not going to say them because obviously I don't want to like this is not a spoiler vlog, but yeah, it's definitely reading more on the YA side, but it's not so YA that I'm not enjoying it, because currently I'm just really intrigued about what's going to happen. Okay, ignore the greasy hair and just the general awfulness of my appearance. It's been a long day at work. I am 66% of the way through on chapter 41. I have some thoughts. Probably half of them I've forgotten because I've just watched the second Captain America, to be honest with you, and all I'm thinking about is Civil War. And I have 3 movies to watch before Civil War. I don't understand how there was that many in between. There's an Avengers in between the second Captain America and Civil War. I don't understand. Anyway, that's completely by the by. Yes, 66% of the way through on chapter 41. When they were on the boat, and calling it a boat is a stretch. It was a dinghy, if anything. I was rooting for them so much because it's weird. Because you would think pacing wise it was slightly dragged out, ever so slightly, but in a way it kind of worked because I was rooting for them so much that I didn't really mind. But if it had gone any longer, I would have started getting annoyed, I think, because of how long they were on this boat for. It was the same thing day in, day out. But I feel like they've really created a bond. They've kind of trauma bonded from this boat. So there's that. Then we had a little revelation once we hit land. Well, we had multiple revelations, none of which I really guessed. I think if I'd paid attention to the name of the next book, I probably could have guessed it, because I remember seeing a word and now it's kind of, yeah, but all I was looking for was for when it was going to be released, and I don't think it's till next year. Wasn't really paying attention to the title. If I had, I think I could have guessed one of them. One thing I definitely couldn't have guessed, and I'm wondering if it's got something to do with the twist at the end. I hope not. If there's a betrayal by this particular person, I'm not going to be happy at all. But I'm also not going to be super surprised if this person turns out to be like a betrayer. Then there's, I keep wanting to call him Hollis. I don't know what book that's from. That there's someone called Hollis. Hallis or something, I can't remember, but he's the guy with one hand. That guy needs to lighten the fuck up. It sounds like he was a bit of a bully when they were kids, and he still sounds like a bit of a bully. He just needs to lighten up. And the fact, I don't remember the main guy's first name. I really like him. Aka. It's probably because it's a stupid name. I'm sorry. What kind of name is Aka for an MMC? I'm meant to love this man. I'm meant to want to get on my knees for this man. I'm meant to want to worship this man. This is how fantasy MMCs work, okay? How am I going to do that for a man whose name is Aka? Genuinely, that's a gripe I've got with this story. Aside from that, love the MMC. However, his taste in best friends is questionable at best. I get it, they've trauma bonded through war and battle, but man has no personality aside from being a dick and having one hand. Anyway, yeah, again, Aka's got a terrible name. Hallis, what kind of name is Hallis? Who's Hollis from? Could it be you? It might be Quicksilver. Okay, maybe it's not this one. Wait. It's fucking Onyx Storm. Don't know where I'm gonna find him in this. It's Onyx Storm. Isn't Hollis the guy in the basket? That's the only way I can describe it. I'm fairly sure his name's Hollis. I knew it was something I read this year, but now I'm fairly sure it is Onyx Storm. This is such a really random detour we've taken right now. Don't know where he is. He's in here somewhere. Oh my god, his name's Holden. Who's Hollis then? Is there not a Hollis as well? Wait. I'm actually gonna go crazy. Right, Holden's the one in the basket. Was there not a Hollis as well? Is Hollis the younger brother? Is Hollis the one we like? No, he's called Eric. Who's Hollis? I really swear I read a book where there's a character's name is Hollis and I have no idea who. There's apparently a Hollis in the Vampire Diaries. Maybe it was Throne of Glass. Maybe it was Throne of Glass. Oh, it's Hollin. And it was Throne of Glass and it's Dorian's brother. Okay, I'm so glad we got to the bottom of that. It's been about 15 minutes, I would say. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't even know what to say now after that because I feel like I've been through a lot in the last 10 minutes. I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, there's a couple of things that annoy me. It feels slightly YA, but I'm really enjoying the couple. Obviously it's very slow burn at the minute. We know there's something going on about like Fated Mates, it's like an iteration of Fated Mates, not quite the same. I have a lot of questions. I'm wondering I have no idea what the ending's going to be. I have no idea what the surprise is going to be. I have an idea of what could be a betrayal, but I don't know if that's going to be the big twist at the end. So excited. Yeah, so I'm going to get into bed and read some more. Try and get maybe 75% of the way in before I go to bed. Then I have the last 25% to read tomorrow. And I'm going to film my reaction to the end. Okay, I'm on chapter 48, we're 81% of the way through, and according to this I've got an hour and 21 minutes left, so let's lock in and get this book finished. I've watched 4 Marvel films today, by the way. I finally got Civil War, and so I'm happy. Anyway, let's finish the book. Okay, listen, this book has felt pretty YA up until now, like decent, not fully YA, but decently so. And any sort of spice isn't super descriptive. So I feel very jarred right now that there's been a sudden see you next Tuesday. Just there, I don't mean hers, I just mean she's referred to it as that. In her own head, like in a monologue, not out loud. It struck me off guard a little bit. I don't mind it being referred to as that, especially not in a spicy scene, that's absolutely fine. This isn't the most descriptive spicy scene though, it's thrown me off. I've only got 8% left, I've got half an hour left to read and I have no idea what this twist is going to be, or when it's going to be, but it's going to be in the next half hour. I haven't a clue. If that was the twist, I'm disappointed, that's all I'm going to say. There better be something else that's going to shock me. We're finally in a different point of view and I'm wondering what's going to happen. We've got 16 minutes left, we've got 15% on the camera. Wait, I'm so confused. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't read anymore. I can't do this. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's a hell of a twist. That is. I don't know how to continue. Oh my god. I really, how have you done that? How? I don't want to say anything, but I can't say anything without giving an inkling of a spoiler. Wait, but she would have. Oh, it gets. There's just more to this. Then it's more. This is more than just surface level. It's getting worse. It's getting so much worse. Oh my god. I can't believe it. I can't. My camera's about to die. I'm gonna charge this while I get myself together because so that wasn't the twist earlier, that was the twist. Oh my god, what the fuck? I have no words. That is the best twist I've ever read in my life. I was so not expecting that. Oh my god, that was so messy. Fuck me. I've decided I'm going to rate this book of 4 stars. Now listen, when I first, I'm glad I've removed myself and looked at Goodreads, because when I first came up to charge my camera, I thought to myself, is this a 5 stars? Because I was so thrown off by the ending, like it must be a 5 stars. No. And here are my reasons. First of all, I really enjoyed this book. It was really fun. I loved the characters and I loved the world building, how unique it is and how unique the magic system is. I really enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the romance at the beginning when it was quite complicated, because she's like, I'm gonna hate this guy, like I don't know if I can trust him, but we have this connection. And then when they're on the boat and they are fighting for their lives just to survive, not literally fighting, but they're like, and you feel them grow this connection. And even though that part of the book, the pacing was a bit off, it was a bit slow, I loved how much you started rooting for the characters and their romance. But then once they get off the boat, I feel like the romance did feel a bit one-sided, because there was a love confession, and I did think in the back of my mind, I understand his feelings. He's always felt this way, and he seems to have like held on to hope of finding her. And she, in my head, all I can think is like, yes, she feels this physical need to be near him, but I can't see in her head her being in love with him, if that makes sense. I love the MMC. I really like Akka. Hate his name, but I really like Akka. But the romance, there was something missing to make it feel well-rounded and believable. The writing itself, bear in mind obviously the Kindle edition is still the indie version. It clearly hasn't been edited very well. There was multiple errors. Some sentences I've had to put words in there for them to make sense, because clearly they've just forgotten a word or two for it to actually make sense. And then there was random like breaks where like it goes on another line for no reason. So like that, it really does need editing, but it's being traditionally published, so I imagine it's going to go through quite heavy editing before we get the physical book in our hands. So that, like, whatever, that's fine. Indie published books aren't necessarily as combed through as much as maybe traditionally published. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I suppose if you publish through Amazon yourself, I don't know, it's up to you I guess, but yeah, the writing could do with some work based on that. What else was I going to say? Okay, the twist at the end. Okay, it really got me. It really got me. The reason it really got me is because it really doesn't make sense. For multiple reasons that I'm not going to fully go into. If you really want to know, loads of people on Goodreads have put like spoiler reviews that will go into the reasons why it doesn't make sense. Because of the point of, my main issue with it not making sense is because of the point of view that we're in. And that's the only thing I'm going to say on that. I have a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that's unanswered. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. However, it's the first book out of, I don't know how many, to be honest. We have at least one more. And so I'm open to those questions being answered in a later book in the future, so I don't feel too much about the fact that I have a lot of questions and I feel like there's a lot of plot holes, because that could be an issue that's solved and just explained away later on. So that like doesn't really make that much difference to me. However, it does make me feel that the ending doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially considering who's involved. It's just, yeah, it's not very believable. There was nothing really throughout the book, when I think back, that could lead anyone to think about this being a possibility. So it feels a little bit like it was done for shock factor, which I don't love, but I did enjoy how shocked I was, I can't lie. It really made the book interesting at the end. And yeah, the pacing throughout the book has been a little bit odd. It's just slightly off, too fast at some points, too slow at others, but it was a good pacing for that end. And then yeah, so I don't know, I'm gonna rate it a 4 stars because yeah, it was definitely lacking in some areas, and I can see why that ending would frustrate a lot of people. Okay, yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about the book. So we did manage to get a 5-star in this video. 2 5-stars in general for the month though, so that's, you know what, I'm happy. Though I'm just happy I finally had a 5-star. And I've read 2 fantasy books that I have really enjoyed as well. Do I like The Knight and the Moth better than this book? I rated The Knight and the Moth 4 stars as well, and I don't know if they're on par. That's something I'm gonna have to think about in my own time, because I've already had a lot of overthinking in this vlog. I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Give me more recommendations for 5-star reads in the comments down below, because God knows I need them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!